Now, to present the nominees in the category Hard Rock Metal Performance.
In 1989, the Grammys introduced a new category into their ceremony, Best Rock and Metal Performance. Of all the nominees, most people agreed the winner would be Metallica for their album And Justice for All, which is considered to be one of their best albums of all time. However,
and the winner is Crest of a Knave, Jethro Tull.
this controversial pick sparked some massive backlash, which also resulted in the Grammys learning the wrong lesson and overcorrecting a bit. However, both Metallica and Jethro Tull had a good sense of humor regarding the ordeal, not to mention, nothing like this will ever happen again.
And this is a loaded gun!
Oh boy.
Boy, am I terrified of making this video. Let's start from the beginning. On September 7, 2025, the MTV Music Video Awards took place at the UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. I think it's to be expected from any award show that there is going to be drama on the internet about it, regardless of who wins. People are very passionate about the things they like, and some toxically so. Put these things in a competition and yeah, some audience displeasure is par for the course. However, Lisa winning Best K-pop at the VMAs rattled the community beyond the expected parameters. Now, because we live in a time where our feeds are algorithmically curated, I don't know if this controversy is actually as big as it seems to be on my end, or if it's some insular drama with no actual consequence to the K-pop community as a whole, and it might be irrelevant by the time this video comes out. But regardless, I thought it'd be important to address because at the root of this controversy lies an existential question. What is K-pop? The purpose of this video is not to answer and define what is and isn't K-pop. I am woefully unqualified to do so. As mentioned in my K-pop Demon Hunters review, I'm on the periphery of K-pop culture. I know some groups, I like a ton of songs, but I'm not a fan nor am I in that culture. So no, I won't be the arbiter of K-pop, but rather the point of this video will be instead to look at Lisa's controversial win to explore the question of what is K-pop? Why is this not K-pop? And, more importantly, why are these the assumptions we're making to delineate these lines? So what is the actual controversy? As mentioned earlier, Blackpink member Lisa won Best K-pop Award at this year's VMAs for her song Born Again, featuring American singer Doja Cat and British singer-songwriter Ray. The backlash was swift and the main point of contention was, to put it simply, that this song was not K-pop. Why? From what I've seen from the discourse online, there are two reasons. Firstly, none of the performers are Korean. As mentioned earlier, Doja Cat and Ray are American and British respectively, and Lisa herself is Thai. And secondly, Born Again is sung entirely in English. No Korean lyrics can be found. Before I address those 2 points, I'm going to point out something I find extremely funny. Did you happen to notice an argument that's conspicuously missing from this discussion about whether a song is a part of a musical genre? That's right, the music! Traditionally, we define musical genres by the audio aesthetics and musical characteristics they employ. But here we are saying that a song doesn't belong to a musical genre and neither of the reasons given are related to the music. In my K-pop Demon Hunters review, even though I talked about the music twice, no pun intended, once in regards to the plagiarism element, and later when discussing the aesthetics of K-pop, I also didn't really talk about the music. What gives? Well, I think the reason for this is because the musical aspect is not what makes K-pop K-pop. The reason I didn't talk about the musical aspects in my aesthetics of K-pop rant was because, to me, the sound of K-pop has more to do with the technical/production side. I want to be clear, I don't mean this as an insult. If anything, it is one of the things I love about K-pop, how it just seems that K-pop does whatever K-pop wants. Sure, it still pulls mainly from pop mainstream genres like hip-hop, R&B, rap, electro dance, and pop. We are not gonna get some heavy metal tunes out of Twice, I think. But there is a wide musical diversity in K-pop that allows songs to coexist in the same house, like Cupid, Like That, and whatever NMIX we're doing. I'll be 100% honest, I did bury the lead a little bit. There were some people that did argue that Born Again didn't sound like K-pop, but not only is that clearly not a main concern in this discussion, but also, as I just mentioned, what K-pop sounds like varies a lot from group to generation and even from song to song. Since we have ruled out using the song sound to define their K-popness, let's go back to the main points. I'll tackle the second one first because that's the easiest one to debunk. Born Again can't be K-pop because he has no lyrics in Korean. Okay, so we can disqualify Rosé's Toxic to the End and Jimin's Who from the nominees, right? This argument felt extremely poorly thought out because not only are 2 of the other nominees also fully in English, but there are a ton of K-pop songs fully in English. Butter, Dynamite, both by BTS, The Fields by Twice, Tally by Blackpink, Star by Luna, Now at this point we might be tempted to move the goalpost to create an exception for these songs, which leads us nicely to the other main point. None of the artists in Born Again are Korean. Oh boy. So let's start off by rebutting the nationality as a requisite for being K-pop. K-pop has a ton of stars and artists who are not Korean. Not half Korean, fully not Korean. Sana, Suyu, Mina, Jun from 17, Chenle, Shuhwa, Mini, the list could go on. And again, this is leaving out artists that are from Korean descent like Rosé, Felix, or Hwening Kai. I think it'd be ridiculous not to count any of these people as K-pop, especially if their groups do count as K-pop. No one's gonna start arguing that groups are 3/4 or 50% K-pop. That'd be ridiculous. What if the members have solo projects? Well, if it sounds like what they did as part of a K-pop group, or sounds like what their K-pop contemporaries are doing, why wouldn't they still be K-pop? We have cases like Jackson Wang, who started in K-pop and then moved to Mandopop. He's not a K-pop artist because he's explicitly not doing K-pop. But wait. Isn't this the exact same thing as what Lisa is doing? Left South Korea, established their own label through which they started releasing their own solo work in a language that's not Korean. Gee, it's almost as if terms like K-pop or Mandopop were just catch-all terms to refer to popular music coming from a certain country and not actually meant to be a genre of music with distinct and definable characteristics. One last aside. When writing the script, I came across a video that I found fascinating, and it was oddly in theme. This is a music video by the K-pop group Super Junior. Check it out.
Si tú me hubieras dicho siempre la verdad, si hubiera respondido cuando te llamé, si hubieras amado cuando te amé, serías en mis sueños la mejor mujer. Si no supiste amar, ahora te puedes marchar.
So I love this video. If you don't know, this is a cover of a song called Ahora te puedes marchar, released by Mexican singer Luis Miguel in 1987. I'll admit, I just wanted to share this song because it's a really good cover, plus the music video is a shot-for-shot remake of the original music video, and knowing that is hilarious. I love how all the Super Junior members cosplay Luis Miguel. It just looks like they had a lot of fun, and that fun is infectious. So anyway, is this a K-pop cover? I mentioned I wanted to make this video not to answer what is K-pop, but rather question the definitions and assumptions we have as to what K-pop is. The reason this controversy even happened, I think, is because K-pop was never meant to be interpreted as its own genre, or rather just a synonym for pop music from Korea. This is the reason K-pop is so musically vague and diverse, because its only qualifier was that it was music from Korea. Because the name is very explicitly Korean pop, it is tempting to try and segregate it. But not only can this turn extremely racist really quickly, it is ignoring the reality of the K-pop industry. Technically speaking, the only ones who can decide what K-pop is are the people who make it. And those people, under no uncertain terms, have said that you don't have to sing in Korean, nor do you have to live in or be Korean to make K-pop. I opened this video with a story about Jethro Tull and Metallica because at first glance, it looked like a similar situation. An open and shut case where there was a clear wrong answer. Like imagine Pitbull winning, I don't know, best Latin rock album. However, the more you looked into it, the more complex and nuanced the situation was. As far as I can tell, Lisa has won this same award in previous years, tying her with BTS for most wins. And those wins didn't cause the stir this one did. As mentioned prior, the two main points as to why Born Again shouldn't count as K-pop are very quickly countered by just looking at the other nominees. The only thing notably different between Born Again and the rest of the nominees are the features. And I don't think you want to be the one to make the argument Born Again shouldn't have won because of two black women. Is Born Again K-pop? Again, I'm not here to argue one way or another. Musical genre, to me, is not the literal definitions we create, but the commonalities a culture codifies as a collective. As mentioned repeatedly, I am not part of the K-pop culture, so I have no say or skin in this game. But I wanted to make this video to remind ourselves that as we define and codify our cultures, we have to always take a step back and question where those conclusions come from. Thank you very much for watching. As mentioned repeatedly, I am an outsider to K-pop, so there might be a lot of nuances I miss from this discussion. The benefit and importance of discussion is to be open-minded to different perspectives, so I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to keep things civil, and please be kind to me. I hope you enjoyed this blither, and hope to see you in the next one. Later.